As a parent, there is an unspoken race to hit milestones. Walking, talking, sleeping through the night. And when my little one wasn't meeting some of these goals on target, I really began to question things. But then I watched the episode Baby Race from the hit show Bluey, and that absolutely changed everything. So today I'm going to be diving into the episode Baby Race and speaking a little bit about the lessons that I learned from that and the pressure to let go of the quote unquote baby race.
This episode of Bluey is called Baby Race.
Hey dads, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is what we do. We look at what it means to be a father, what it means to grow as a dad. Glad to have you here. If you like this type of content, there's a little button down there. It says subscribe. Go ahead and hit that for me. Let's get into this video. Parenting blogs, online forums, and even well-meaning relatives, they make it seem that you should be worried if your baby isn't hitting the milestones on schedule. And honestly, I found myself falling into that trap. Couple that with seeing babies younger than mine walking before my baby did, and that was a recipe for disaster. So then one day I was watching Bluey because, well, we love Bluey at this house.
Bluey!
I saw Chili, this confident, experienced mom, telling the story of when Bluey was learning to walk. She was watching judo outperform Bluey in so many different milestones, and it absolutely wrecked her. I think the most poignant moment in this episode is when Chili is sitting at home with Bluey. She's Miss Mom Group, and her friend, I think her name was Bella, comes over and talks to her. Then she says to Chili those words that I think every parent needs to hear from time to time.
There's something you need to know.
What?
You're doing great.
And in that moment, just like Chili, my perspective shifts. You know, it's not about the race. It's not about can your kid walk before the other kid? Can your kid walk, at whatever age? They're on their own time. They're on their own schedule. We're all out here. We're running our own races.
Bluey, just run your own race.
I just want to go over a few key takeaways from this episode that I think is very helpful. It's been very helpful to me, and hopefully it is to you as I draw some of these things out of the episode. First thing, and it's obvious, it's kind of the point of this video, is that every baby develops at their own pace. Just because your little one's not hitting the milestones, as the books say, as the parenting blogs say, it's not necessarily a bad thing. They just might be developing at their own pace. Another key takeaway for me is comparison is the thief of joy. Chili got so wrapped up into comparing Bluey's progress with Judo's progress that it spiraled her into something of a depression. She was missing all those cute, wonderful moments, all those cute things that Bluey was doing, the bum shuffles, the rolling, the backward crawling. Those were just such fun moments. When you're so worried about, is my baby going to do this or that, you can miss out on those really cool moments that your kid is having. Another key takeaway is how Bandit was throughout this episode. He was so excited. He was so in the moment. He was the opposite of Chili throughout this. He cheered for Bluey whenever she did something, whether it's the bum shuffle or the rolling. He was super excited and praised her in that moment. And I think that's what we need to be doing for our kids. Instead of getting so wrapped up in what they're not doing, let's celebrate them for what they are doing. And then the other takeaway that I had was how Chili ended up responding to her feelings of failure, and where I think ultimately the deep feelings of failure came from. And that is the combination of being jealous of Judo and Judo's mom, I guess, ultimately. Just being overwhelmed by these feelings of like, my baby's not hitting these milestones. I mean, you saw her constantly going to the pediatrician asking, is this normal? Is this normal? Is this normal? And then isolating herself from the mom group. And that, I think, was really a key moment in this episode, and really the thing that really sent her to her lowest, because once the other mom comes over and they talk and she's reminded that she's doing great and she gets back out there, she's able to accept everything. She's able to move on. She's able to have real growth in this episode.
Well done, Judo, you clever girl.
I think it's such a key to not allow ourselves to be jealous of what other kids are doing and be jealous of their parents, because their parents probably aren't doing anything different than you're doing or I'm doing. It's just the way the kid's developing, and then allowing ourselves to get so overwhelmed by everything and then isolating ourselves is actually it's such a recipe for disaster. Isolation as a parent is a horrible mistake. One of the things that I love about this show is their composer. He makes such great use of music. Noticed in this scene where Bella is coming to talk to Chili how the music fades out right before she says you're doing great. And then in the scene where Bluey finally walks, the swell of the music is incredible. It's one of the best uses, I think, in the entire series of music, and I love how they capture that moment.
Why did I decide to walk in the kitchen?
I don't know, sweetie.
Maybe you just saw something you wanted.
So just to recap my my takeaways from this episode. 1, babies, they go at their own pace. I mean, this is a lesson I've been learning since my baby was born. He moves at his own pace. Sometimes that's frustrating, but I gotta accept it. 2, comparison is the thief of joy. If you compare yourself to others, if you compare your baby to others, you will miss out on everything that's going on right now that's going to bring you so much joy. And finally, don't be jealous. Try to limit the amount that things overwhelm you, and don't isolate yourself, because that is just going to exasperate all the negative things that you're feeling. So I would love to hear from you. Have you ever felt like you were in a baby race? Go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know. And if you love seeing parenting content through the lens of Bluey, pop culture in general, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. I've got more Bluey, more parenting insights, and a lot more fun coming your way. I'll catch you in the next one.